nerdy knitters, welcome to our beginner knitter series. We're working on a series of 3 dishcloths right here. In our first video we learned about this pattern, and in this video we're going to learn this pattern right here. Your first video taught you how to knit and cast on. This pattern will teach you how to work the purl stitch and how to bind off in purl. If you want to jump to any point in the video, use the timestamp links in the video description box down below. Let's look at the next dishcloth in our series. In our first video, we looked at the Purl Ridge dishcloth and you learned how to cast on, how to work the knit stitch, and how to bind off. And in this video, we're going to introduce the purl stitch. You're going to need some yarn, something like this, which you can find at any big box store, or if you prefer to shop online, I really like the Knit Picks Dishy brand. So anything that is labeled as worsted weight cotton yarn is suitable for a dishcloth like this. You'll also need your knitting needles. These are 4.5 millimeter or US 7, scissors or something to cut your yarn, and a tapestry needle to weave in the ends. And you'll also need the pattern, so check out the link down below for that. Let's get started. In the first video, we went over all of the parts and pieces of a pattern. So today we're just going to jump right to the pattern. Dishcloth number 2, introducing the purl stitch. Our first instruction tells us CO means cast on. Check your abbreviations list on the next page for all of the words that are abbreviated. Cast on 30, STS, that means stitches. So use your favorite cast on. Or if you're not sure how to cast on, check out the first video for the knit cast on. So once you cast on, meet me back here and we will work the purl stitch. Once you have your stitches cast on, it is time to follow our next instruction. It says garter stitch section, purl 4 rows. Now the interesting thing is that garter stitch, which we learned about in video number 1, is this fabric right here where we knit every row. You can also produce that same fabric by purling every row, which is what we've done right down here. It looks exactly the same. If you knit every row or purl every row, you can produce garter stitch. And of course, we want to learn about the purl stitch in this video, so we're going to use the purl stitch to form the garter. We enter that stitch from right to left, just like that. Our yarn is down here. We bring it up and over our needle, back down around, and scoop it through and drop that first stitch off the left needle. And we have purled 1 stitch. Now in that other video we discussed how to hold your yarn, and I like to hold it in my left hand, so I'm going to do that here. Insert from right to left. Wrap our yarn up and over. You're wrapping the same way whether you're holding the yarn in the right or the left, and drop that stitch off. Insert, just like that. Wrap your yarn, pull it through, and drop that stitch off. Insert, wrap, pull it through, just like that. Once you know the knit stitch and how that works, it's not really a big leap to working the purl stitch. Insert, pull it through, wrap your yarn. So continue practicing your purl row. There, finish that first row. Just like when we knit, our right needle is now full and our left needle is empty. So we turn things around, put our empty needle in our right hand and our work in our left. Doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed, this is how you'll hold your work. Our yarn is down here, not up and over our needle. Bring it down to the bottom, hold it down there. That was our first row, and remember our instructions tell us to purl 4 rows. Insert from right to left. Don't grab the tail, make sure you're grabbing your working yarn. Up and over and hold it there so it's easier to pull through. There you go. All right, so you've worked your first row, you're working your second. So you're going to work 4 rows. And if you remember, when you work in garter stitch, every 2 rows gives you a ridge. So when you have your 4 rows, those 2 ridges, let's come back and look at our next instruction. You've purled 4 rows, and we're going to move on to the next part of our pattern. It says our stockinette stitch section. These 2 sections form the basis for the whole pattern. Knit 1 row, purl 1 row, repeat these 2 rows once more. So doing that produces this section right here. It's called stockinette. When you knit 1 row and then purl the next row and repeat those 2, you get these little V's. So let's work those 4 rows and we'll look at that pattern. So remember, our yarn is down and to the back of our work when we knit. Insert, wrap, and pull it through, just like that, and work across the row. Okay, we finished our knit row, so we turn our work. Now we're going to purl the next row. So our yarn is still down, but this time we have to make sure it's to the front of our work like this. It's towards us. The yarn should be towards you for a purl stitch. So insert, wrap your yarn, and purl. Purl that row, and then meet me on the other side of this row. All right, just finishing up my purl row. Turn my work. I'm back on our instruction said knit 1 row, purl 1 row, and then repeat those 2 rows once more. So I'm on a knit row again. So yarn is down to the back, knit across. I finished my knit row and it's time to purl. So yarn comes towards me now. And I purl across this row, and that is the last step in that section. So finish up your stockinette section and we'll come back and look at this pattern. There, we finished our stockinette stitch section, and you should have something that looks like this. You've got your garter ridges down here from purling, and then right here is this section of little V's. Right there is a V. So look at your own fabric and look for these little V's. They make little columns all across your fabric. Each of those little V's is a knit stitch. So if you lose your place and you have to count, each row of V's is a row of knitting. So we know that this stockinette stitch section produces 4 rows. So we should have at least 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we pull our work down a bit, we can see there's actually a 5th V right here. That V is from our last garter stitch section of the purl 4 rows. So you should be right here back at the beginning, the front of your work, and you'll have 4 V's that show that you worked both of those rows 2 times, with another little V down there from your first purl row in that garter stitch section. Okay, once you finish that stockinette stitch section, it tells you to purl 2 rows. And that will give you this little ridge right here. And then you'll repeat those 2 things. Repeat the stockinette stitch section, knit 1 row, purl 1 row, repeat, and then purl 2 rows. You're going to repeat those 2 instructions, your stockinette stitch section followed by 2 purl rows, until you have the full length. It'll tell you how many sections to do. And then you work some more garter stitch in purl, then you bind off in purl. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that right now. There, I've worked a few rows and I'm ready to bind off. It's very similar to binding off like you're knitting, but this time you're going to purl each stitch before you bind it off. So purl your first stitch, purl your second, and then you're going to take that first stitch, pull it right up and over that second stitch. Just like you bound off knitwise, you can bind off purlwise. You just purl the stitches first. And if you need a refresher, check out the first video in this series, the garter stitch dishcloth. That goes over the knit stitch, casting on and binding off knitwise. Once you have those down, this is very easy to do. You're just adding a few more skills to your knitting toolbox. Oops. Purl the stitch, pull it over. And that's all there is to it. You're just purling them instead of knitting them to bind off in purl. So be sure to check out that first video in this series so you can learn the basics. In the next video, we're going to introduce some increases and decreases in knitting, starting with one corner of our dishcloth, this one right here. It's a very common, popular pattern, but you start at one edge and you work and you increase, which means you're adding stitches to get to the full width, and then you decrease, you're subtracting stitches to bring it back down. So if you want to learn how to do that, check out the third video in the series. And while I finish binding off, be sure that you click the subscribe button down below so you can be notified whenever there's a new video. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up.